Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Bowling League's Dungeonbowl week number 4. We're in Division A. Tonight, we're going to have Lizards versus Necro. Tonight, it's going to be Cenozoic Park versus the Teen Wolf and Friends. The Teen Wolf and Friends? Nick Satan versus El Numerino. Let's take a look at the standings. In first place in Division A, the White Skull Windbreakers with a win this week. Doug the Minotaur's Orc team. Doug the Minotaur, the league champion. 2-2-0 is their record. They are followed very closely behind by the Dead Poets. S. Beaver's Undead team. 2-1-1 is their record. And in Division B, in first place, JD Whitey's Forest of Flames, a Wood Elf team. 2-0-0. They are followed by BB Nuts, Harlequins BBFC. They're an Undead team. 2-0-1 is their record. And finally, in Division C, in first place, Nick Satan's Cenozoic Park. They're a Lizard team. They're up tonight. They are 2-0-0 so far in this competition. They're going to be up against the current Dungeonbowl champion, El Numerino, and his Teen Wolf and Friends team. They are a Necro team. They're in last place in Division C, but don't count them out. Again, El Numerino, Dungeonbowl champion. Speaver says these standings are no longer as fun to look at. I wonder why you think that. Right, let's take a look at the home team, Cenozoic Park. They're coming in TV of 1,410,000 gold. They have 11 players on the roster, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, indeed. They have the big guy, the Crocs, 6 Saurus blockers, 3 Skinks, and a Chameleon, 1 Apothecary, 5 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. They're going to be up against this Necro team by El Numerino. A fresh team El Numerino's bringing into this competition. Going to be down a player, Corey Haim, out with a serious injury this week, but otherwise has 11 players on the roster. 1,065,000 gold is the team value for this team. That's 345,000 gold in petty cash that Team Wolf and Friends will get in the inducement phase. 1 dedicated fan, just the 2 rerolls. This is going to be a little bit of a chess match game, I think. So let's take a look at this Lizard team first, right? He's got the 6 Sauruses. He's got, this is not the right team, this is my team. He's got the 6 Sauruses, he's got the Crocs, and he's got the Skinks. As per the usual for a Lizard team, Nick Satan's job is to keep these Skinks on the pitch. If they get removed, that is it. Cenozoic Park is not picking up that ball ever again. He does have the Sneaky Get Dirty player in Ty Simpkins, number 12 here. I think he absolutely wants this piece on the roster. Trevor Morgan II, I question the value of this piece. Another Sneaky Get, also has Diving Catch. I don't know. For my money, I think that's 20K. That's just not worth it. I would have fired Trevor Morgan II, but I'm also not 2-0. 2 Sneaky Get players means that you know, he can move these players in a position where he needs the foul, but honestly, with an MA of 8, Sneaky Get and Dirty player, that's enough, I think. 2 Sneaky Get players means he gets to keep his Sneaky Get on the pitch if another one gets called off, but frankly, that's what Sneaky Get is for. So we'll see if he can make any use out of Trevor Morgan II. Otherwise, he's going to be leveraging the block skills on those 4 Sauruses to try to get this strength advantage, the block advantage, and try to bash the team down while keeping these Skinks safe. El Numerino's job is kind of the same, but not quite, right? His pieces to watch out for are the 2 werewolves and the ghoul runner. These are his high-speed pieces. These are his Edge 3+ pieces. These are going to be his ball carriers. If he loses those pieces, he's going to have a tough time trying to score. But really, I think the focus is going to be these Wraiths, because it's going to be up to the Wraiths to keep those 3 pieces on the pitch. On offense, those Wraiths are going to have to play some protection, right? They're going to have to go out there, take that blitz. On defense, they're going to need to pull some pressure away from the werewolves, maybe even away from Winona Ryder, the ghoul runner. And so I think the Wraiths are going to be the pieces to watch out for Team Wolf and Friends. Those are going to be the ones setting the momentum, trying to keep those other pieces on the pitch so that El Numerino can get what he needs out of them. The werewolves with Claw are going to be a great use for him this evening. Frenzy is another very important skill that's giving him a lot of dice on block with Claw, which he wants. The werewolves are rookies, though. They don't have the block skill. They can be a little a little scary to chuck those dice, especially with just the 2 rerolls. But if he can leverage the werewolves, if he can mediate his die rolls, if he can say, this is the turn where I need Jason Bateman or Michael J. Fox to take a block to try to knock somebody out, to get them off the pitch, or maybe even just to open up a hole, that's what he's going to be trying to do tonight. And if he can do that effectively, I think he comes out on top. A little bit of a chess match again. The werewolves, the ghoul runners, these are going to be absolute targets for the lizard team. The skinks, naturally the targets for the necro team. But the necro team does have those 2 wraiths to sort of help back things up, to try to protect those 3 pieces that he needs to protect. The problem for El Nubarino are the 2 rerolls and not a lot of block. That's going to really, really hurt this team. And is a significant hindrance for El Nubarino. He's going to be picking up 345,000 gold in petty cash, and I think that means Ivan the Animal Death Shroud's going to come back out this week, this time playing for Teen Wolf and Friends, and that leaves money for a wizard as well. Ivan the Animal Death Shroud and a wizard, I think that's what I pick up for my money. We'll see if El Nubarino agrees or not. He's only going to have 11 players on the roster to start with. He's going to have no bench, nobody in reserve, so once he starts to lose players, it's going to start hurting and being in trouble. I don't think these 2 flesh golems are really going to be all that effective in this matchup tonight. Strike forward, stand firm is great. That's decent, but he's up against lizards, right? So I think Nick Satan probably puts Larder in the third and Wayne Knight onto those 2 flesh golems and just keeps them out of the drive. He says, you want to take some blocks? Take some blocks. My AV's 10 plus. Good luck to you, sir. That frees up the other 4 Saurus blockers to move around the pitch, to take those 2 die, maybe even 3 die blocks where he wants them to be. He gets Mighty Blow out of BD Wong. He has Richard Attenborough the Crocs as well to try to put the hurt on. And of course, he has not 1 but 2 Fowlers. So absolutely going to play a bashy game out of these lizards tonight. I think for the formation, either that Crocs is going to play center or nose tackle. And if he does, maybe he pulls 2 of these blocker Sauruses up to the line just to get strength 5 across the line with block. But if he does that, that's fewer Saurus blockers that he can reposition around the pitch. Remember, everybody on this team is an EG 5+ except for those skinks. So if a Saurus gets tied up, he's not going anywhere unless it's on a blitz. So we might actually see him pull them back instead and keep them mobile as a halfback or as a linebacker. Week 4 is about to, week 4 is underway. This week 4 game is about to get underway. We have weeks 4, 5, 6, and 7 before the cut to top 4. The top 3 teams from each division will advance to the top 4, as will the highest ranking runner-up between all 3 divisions. Those will be the top 4. They'll be seeded randomly. And then the finalists, the final 2 teams, will earn an invitation to the Blood Bowl later in the season. In fact, it will be the very next competition. We have 3 open competitions this season, and then an invitational. The Blood Bowl is the invitational, the championship tournament. If whatever team wins this competition will advance in the upper bracket. Whichever team is the runner-up will advance in the lower bracket. Will have to work their way up into the upper bracket. All right. I'm going to head over to Discord and see if these 2 coaches are ready to go. And if so, we will get this Monday night game underway. Looks like both coaches are indeed in Discord. And here we go. 345,000 gold in petty cash will be going to Teen Wolf and Friends this evening. Welcome everyone to the stream. A kind Sir El Nubarino, SP Beaver, Black Wolf 82, and Bad Dog. Welcome very much. What is wrong with me? Thank you very much for hanging out. Welcome to the stream. Eric Lionheart, welcome to the stream. Boot Polish, welcome to the stream as well. Kind Sir, it's hard to read, but it's a Monday Night Football song. Da, 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 da. Blue versus yellow. Six fan factor for Cenozoic Park. These teams would make some money. Is this snow? Do I see a blizzard? 345K. There he is. Ivan the Animal Death Shroud. Could pick him up for 190. Could pick up a Wizard for 150. We'll see what he decides to do. Bryce the Slice Campbell. I've never seen him take to the pitch. I'm not sure I ever will, but I do love having a Bruce Campbell reference in Blood Bowl. Here he is, Ivan the Animal. Indeed, coming out in this blizzardy day. Blizzardy? Is that a term? Is that a word? Blustery, cold winter day. Cenozoic Park's going to win the coin toss, and they're going to start on defense. Team Wolf and Friends, no Wizards. So what do they pick up? Ivan and a reroll. So went up from 2 rerolls to 3. Picked up Ivan the Animal as well. Nurgle's Rot. Welcome to the stream. Cheering for this offensive Necro team. So as you can see here, the weather is a blizzard. It's a -1 on rushes and passes. Cannot be further than a short short pass. Defense has been set up 3 on the line, spread wide. He did indeed take those blockers off the line. I think that might be a good call to try to keep these 4 blocker Sarses mobile. He's giving up the wide zones. Have to be a little careful there, but he does have the skinks in the secondary with an MA of 8. So -1 on rushes. Instead of a 2+, they're going to be a 3+. We saw, yeah, that's right. Boot Polish says let's have some fun. Blizzard with moles in the ground. We saw that in last night's game. Moles on the Prayer to Nuffle table increased rushes from a 2+ to a 3+. We saw the Dead Poets become a victim to that on a turn. Hank the Ranger, welcome to the stream. Hank the Ranger says, does this mean that rushes fail 1,800% of the time now? Yes, that's math. Here's the kick. Cheering fans. Nobody's going to get the cheering fans result. SP Beaver lowered the rush failure rate from 1,800% to 198%. That's also math. Ball's kicked to the opposing 12-yard line. Turn 1 now for Teen Wolf and Friends. They're going to be on offense. They have 7 players on the line. Strong to the right side. If there was any chance of us seeing a pass, well, we still might see a pass. Passes are restricted to a short pass range, so that's going to be a maximum of 4 spaces orthogonally, or, I'm sorry, 6 spaces orthogonally, 2 spaces, 4, boy, I am so tongue-tied today. 6 spaces orthogonally, 4 spaces diagonally, so it creates this circle. Which, that is maybe the worst circle I've ever drawn. Gets a knockdown on the right side of the line. Wayne Knight, the rookie blocker. For right defensive guard, knocked down. Matthew Broderick's going to be pulled in to get an assist on Richard Attenborough. Eli block on the line against Richard Attenborough. This is not going to work out. Is he going to spend a reroll? He is going to spend the reroll to get the knockdown. Judd Nelson on the knockdown here. Needs a 10+ to break armor. Team Wolf and Friends on the bonus clock. You get 7 minutes 30 seconds in bonus time for the duration of the game. 2 minutes on the turn timer. After the 2 minutes expires, you can dip into that bonus clock. But once it runs out, that's it. Your turns will then be 2 minutes, no more. So Molly Ringwraith moved back toward the ball. Ali Sheedy. Ali Sheedy is going to move forward to the 4. She gets an assist on BD Wong. Rush Blitz. Gets a push out of this. He's going to have to rush again. Failed the rush the second time. It's a 3+. Remember, on a frenzy, you must follow up. If the first block is a push, you must follow up. And if that means you have to rush, so be it. Failed the rush after the reroll. Teen Wolf and Friends down to 1 reroll for the half. Turn 1 now for Cenozoic Park. We tried to warn them, said SP Beaver. Holy moly, that was loud. SP Beaver, thank you for the bits. Cenozoic Park trying to figure out what their tactic's going to be here on defense. They're going to start with the 2-die block of Corey Feldman, the rookie zombie lineman over on the left side of the line. Now Blitz gets through the foul appearance of Ali Sheedy. We'll get a push out of this with Sam Jackson. Remember, the Wraiths have sidestep. They have foul appearance. So before you take a block or a blitz on the Wraith, you have to roll a d6. You have to get a 2+. Otherwise, you lose your opportunity to block or blitz them. And remember, you only get 1 blitz a turn. So if you lose your opportunity to blitz them, you have to declare the blitz first. Then you fail the foul appearance roll, and therefore you lose your blitz for the turn. Here's a foul on the... Wow! Well done. We'll see if he gets called off here. Good regen on the werewolf, but still, that is a wolf off the pitch. Good foul by Ty Simpkins, the sneaky get. Dirty player. The ref couldn't see it in this snow, in this whiteout. Sneaky get. Typically, when you take a foul, if you roll doubles anywhere along the way on the foul, you get called off the pitch. The ref catches you. That sneaky get means that you only get called off the pitch if you break armor. So only if you get something out of the foul will you get called off the pitch. Dirty player is mighty blow for fouling, so you get a +1 to that armor roll or their injury roll, whichever you're going to need it on. Dirty player and sneaky get is a great combo for a fouler. And Nick Satan will be making great use out of Ty Simpkins this evening. Teen Wolf and Friends here on turn 2, trying to figure out what they're going to do. Blitz with Molly Ringwraith. Gets a pal, and Sam Neill, he's the right cornerback for Cenozoic Park. Breaks armor. Wow, was that a knife? You're hiding a knife under there. Well, I guess you're not really hiding it. That's fine. Gets a stun. 2-die block on Wayne Knight. This will work out. This is from the star player, Ivan, the Animal Death Shroud. The captions interpreted that as Ivan the Animal Death Star. Good 3+ pickup by Winona Ryder, the rookie ghoul runner. Just 1 ghoul on this roster. One wolf removed. Remember, those are the 3 pieces the Team Wolf and Friends needs to keep safe. Nick Satan recognized that fact, got 1 removal with Ty Simpkins. He'll be looking to remove the other wolf And of course, Winona Ryder. A push on Jeff Goldblum. 2-die block on Richard Attenborough will be a knockdown this time. 10 plus to break armor on this Crocs. Team Wolf and Friends down to 5 minutes 50 seconds. We see El Nubarino, a very contemplative coach, really likes to take his time on these turns and make sure he's getting the most effective turn he can on every single turn. Just needs to be mindful of that clock. He's run out a few times. Turn 2 now for Cenozoic Park. Oh, I had one of those work days today where I felt like I got nothing done. I mean, stuff got done, of course, but you don't end up in the spot that you want to end up at the end of the day. 2-die block on Ali Sheedy, gets nothing out of it. Now 2-die block on Matthew Broderick over in the left wide zone. Gets a push on Matthew Broderick. Two-die blitz by Laura Dern. The third will be a push on Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman, the left tackle for the offense. Laura Dern the third is going to reposition back into formation. 30 seconds left on the clock now for Cenozoic Park. Cenozoic Park repositioning their secondary. Just keeping those skinks ready to move at a moment's notice. The sneaky get, Ty Simpkins is going to move back into the safety position. Gets in front of the ball. Probably keeping an eye on Michael J. Fox as well as the ball carrier. Turn 3 now for Teen Wolf and Friends. They're going to start with a 2-die block against Wayne Knight with Molly Ringwraith. And they're going to get a knockdown out of this. Armor break again with Molly Ringwraith. Gets a stun out of it. She's a killer. Anthony Michael Hall is going to move forward to mark Trevor Morgan II as well as Ariana Richards III. Now here's the blitz. Skink blitz with Ivan the Animal. This will work out. 8+ breaks armor. No armor break. Good skink hunting by El Nubarino. That's going to pull 2 players forward of the offensive pocket, however. Gets an assist on the Croc. Now 2 assists to get a 2-die block on Richard Attenborough. $30 seconds to go here in turn 3 for Teen Wolf and Friends. Repositions Michael J. Fox to get behind the contingent of skinks. Ball's going to advance to the 4, and now 2-die block on Richard Attenborough. This will be a push. Gonna follow up, keep that Crocs marked. All right, we'll see if Winona Ryder eats a blitz here going into turn 3 for Cenozoic Park. One, two, three, four, five, six. It's a rush to blitz. And the rush is a 3+. Sam Neill will stand up and take a mark on Molly Ringwraith. Not going to blitz the ball carrier. He's going to go back and blitz the wolf. Going after the wolf. Gets a knockdown here. Can he break armor? He can! Gets a stun out of it. Yeah, again, Cenozoic Park knows these pieces that he's going after. The 2 wolves and that ghoul runner. Two-die block on Ali Sheedy. This will be a both standing result or a push. But if it's a push, which it is, Ali Sheedy gets to sidestep. Sidestep means instead of getting pushed backwards into one of the 3 spaces behind you, by way of the direction of the block, you get to go into any adjacent space you want, and it's you, the coach of the player with sidestep, the coach of the player getting blocked, who gets to decide where you end up. Did I block on Ali Sheedy again? Gets a push. Remember, every one of these blocks on these wraiths has to get through that foul appearance roll. Two-die block on Richard Attenborough now gets the knockdown with Emilio Estevez. Or vice versa, with the block by Richard Attenborough against Emilio Estevez. There's too many actors on the pitch. Three seconds to go in the turn. Good 3+ dodge by Ariana Richards III. Good 3+ dodge by Trevor Morgan II. And now the foul on the Wolf with 3 assists. Doesn't get anything out of the foul. Does not get called off the pitch. Nick Satan laser focused on the pieces he wants to remove. Turn 4 now for Teen Wolf and Friends. Teen Wolf and Friends knows they have to go after those skinks. Made a big play to try to remove one. Didn't work out. Did I block on Laura Dern the third? We've had 2 Laura Derns before this. It's going to break armor here. Or I'm sorry, it's going to get a knockdown here. Gets a POW. Minute 4 left on the clock for Teen Wolf and Friends. They're going to try to control center pitch, it seems. They're going to move the other Flesh Golem, Judd Nelson, forward. Corey Feldman moves forward as well. So the line's moving forward. Winona Ryder is going to come out to either the opposing 4 or the opposing 6. Oh, even further. It looks like he might reposition Ali Sheedy and come out to the opposing 8 or maybe even the opposing 10-yard line. There he goes, the opposing 10-yard line now. 12, excuse me, that's a 12. It should be mandated that all pitches have yardage markers. I also demand, I demand that the yardage that is the yardage markers on the pitch should match the yardage stats that are reported. Because they are different. Every 2 yards that is marked on the pitch is 1 yard in the stats. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left for Teen Wolf and Friends. They've got a loose cage around Winona Ryder on the opposing 12-yard line. Final turn of the first quarter coming up. Cenozoic Park with all 3 rerolls. They're finding their team behind the ball carrier currently, save for the Skinks. Aldo Moreno taking advantage of the gap in center pitch, but needs to be cognizant of when he wants to score. Doesn't want to score too early here and give Cenozoic Park an opportunity to win this 2-1. Might try to score, if he can at all help it, might try to score in turn 7. And if he does so, might try to force, might try for a gambit where he forces Cenozoic Park to throw some Skinks out there to try to score. And then he gets an opportunity to try to murder some Skinks. 2-die blitz by Sam Jackson is a push. And again, Ali Sheedy is going to sidestep to wherever she would like to end up here. Ali Sheedy sidesteps to the left of the ball carrier. The blitz has been spent. The ball carrier marked by Sam Jackson. Remember, Sam Jackson has the tackle skill as well. Tackle negates dodge. So unless Sam Jackson is blocked away, then Winona Ryder is not going to be able to use the dodge skill. 2-die block in the left wide zone gets a knockdown by BD Wong against Matthew Broderick. And now a 2-die block coming back to Emilio Estevez. Emilio Estevez will stand firm, but still gets knocked to the ground by Richard Attenborough. And now a 2-die block against Molly Ringwraith on the right side of the line of scrimmage. She will be knocked down as well. Has all 4 Skinks left to decide to do something with. And the chameleon, Joe Mazzola, will get right in front of the ball carrier. Another foul on the Wolf. 3 assists on that foul. 2 assists on the foul. Gets nothing out of it. You can see he rolled snake eyes there, but being a sneaky get means he does not get called off the pitch because he did not break armor. Sneaky get, dirty player are a great combination. Cenozoic Park on the bonus clock now down to 6 minutes 20 seconds. They're going to take a mark on the front right corner of the cage with Jeff Goldblum. May stand up Trevor Morgan the second, try to dodge away, fail the dodge. And that will be a turnover. Turn 5 now for Team Wolfit Friends. The second quarter of the game begins. Two-die block by Ali Sheedy. Gets a foul on Sam Jackson. This is going to get Sam Jackson off the ball carrier. I love how it gets more white as you pull out. That's great. Great touch. Under a minute to go here in turn 5 for Teen Wolf and Friends. They have a number of tackles zones to get through if they want to dodge. Looks like they're setting up for a blitz with the ball carrier on Ariana Richards the third. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 One rush to score, but the rush is a 3+. There's the blitz. Winona Ryder on the blitz gets the pal. Will follow up here. Breaks armor even. Gets a stun out of it. Doesn't get anything out of it. And then it's going to score. There it is. 1-0. Team Wolf and Friends takes the lead in this ball game. So now Cenozoic Park with some time on the board, or time on the clock to get on the board here. Once again, it would be 11v11 on the pitch. Team Wolf and Friends to set up their defense. Cenozoic Park's going to have an entire quarter here to get on the board. They can absolutely do it with those 4 skinks. And then if they do, it'll be tied at the half with Cenozoic Park controlling the ball. They'll be on offense for the second half of this game. Three on the line, screening out the Lizards. With the 2 flesh golems trying to hold down the corners. Cenozoic Park to set up their offense now. Black Wolf 82 says Molly Ringwraith is dominating this match. Did we time warp? Is this the 80s? 80s and 90s, depending on which team you're looking at. 7 players on the pitch. Although I guess if Molly Ringwraith is dominating, it's the 80s. 7 on the line for Cenozoic Park. No kicker for either of these teams. We'll see if the weather changes at all in this kickoff. Here's the kick. Chameleon Skink has on the ball. It's going to get right. Yeah, there's the weather change. And Nuffle says, you know what? I've had enough of the snow. And now it is very sunny. So this is not normal weather. You'll see it's a -1 on all passing. We went from a blizzard to very sunny. Fails the boneheader roll on the blitz declaration with the Crocs. Used a team reroll. Failed the loner roll. And now the Crocs has lost their tackle zone. Has lost their action. And the blitz has been spent as well. Not a good start to the quarter for Cenozoic Park. 2-die block on the line against Anthony Michael Hall on the left side of the line. Breaks armor here. Gets a stun out of it. And now 2-die block at center pitch against Christian Slater is a knockdown. I get into like eating habits. Like I'll eat the same thing for like 4 weeks. So right now I'm eating I'm eating okonomiyaki and tacos. I went to the store and I forgot to get tortillas for the tacos. Ugh. Guess I could make them. Good 3+ pickup by Joe Mazzulo. Hands off to Trevor Morgan II. That's the other sneaky get. Also has diving catch. We haven't seen diving catch used at all. Cenozoic Park deciding where this ball is going to go. It's going to go up to their own 2-yard line, just inside the left wide zone. Ty Simpkins is going to cover the rear, while Ariana Richards is going to cover the front left of the ball carrier. Turn 6 for Teen Wolf and Friends. They need to stop the score for 3 turns. I need to stop hitting keys while I'm mic'd up. Winona Ryder taking a mark on Sam Neal. She'll be the assist for the 2-dive block, but Sam Neal with the block skill. Judd Nelson does not have it, so a bit of a risky block. Spire, welcome to the chat. If only he had the wizard. If only he had the wizard, indeed. Again, welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining us. Under a minute for Teen Wolf and Friends here in the second quarter. Trying to stop the score after they scored in the first quarter of this game. They're in the lead 1-0. They only have 1 reroll left for the half, though. Importantly, they did get back their second wolf. Sam Neal's going to be pushed back by Judd Nelson. Wolf blitz, 2-dive blitz on Jeff Goldblum. It'll be a push. Frenzy follow-up here. 2-dive frenzy follow-up. Oh, that's the problem. Oh, he's going to spend the reroll here. He decided this was not good enough. He'll get the knockdown on Jeff Goldblum, but now Teen Wolf and Friends with no rerolls left for the half. Repositions Michael J. Fox, the blitzer, back into position to get in front of the ball. Takes a mark to get the 1-dive block on Laura during the third. Matthew Broderick's going to get the knockdown here. And now 1-die on BD Wong. This too is going to work out. So El Marino trying to deny actions to Cenozoic Park by taking all these knockdowns. These players not only lose half their MA. Bitwise Bard, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much. Trying to deny actions to this offense here by knocking down these players. It cuts their MA in half. It's 3 MA to stand up. And because they have an MA of 6, that cuts their movement in half. But more importantly, they can't block unless they spend the blitz. Boot Polish is fairly accurate animation. You may not know this, but oh, good injury here. Ali Sheedy gets removed from the pitch, but regenerates. Big removal, at least for the drive for Cenozoic Park. You may not know this, but I'm a little bit of a fan of Neon Genesis Evangelion. Bitwise Bard, I appreciate the raid. Thank you very much. And thanks for dropping in. Have a great evening. There's not that much blood yet, but still plenty of turns left. A kind sir says whoopee cushions up under them sheets. Indeed. I don't know why that's the sound for disturbing presence. It makes no sense. 20 seconds for Cenozoic Park. Stand up blitz. 2-die blitz on the star player. Ivan the Animal. It'll be a both standing result here. He's going to spend the reroll to try to get the knockdown. He'll get it. 8+ will break armor with Mighty Blow. Cenozoic Park down to 5 minutes 30 seconds on the bonus clock. Are they going to try to foul the star player? Cenozoic Park with the ball on the opposing 4-yard line. Good 3+ dodge. Yeah, he is. Oh no, he's going to foul Anthony Michael Hall. It's 2 assists on this, but rolls Snake Eyes, and again, due to being the sneaky get, will not get called off the pitch. Turn 7 now for Team Wolf and Friends. He's left Joe Mazzello behind. Joe Mazzello just hanging out. So just outside of scoring range currently. MA of 8 plus 2 rushes. That's 10 spaces. There are 13 spaces from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. He's on the 4. He's on the second space in. So he's just 1 space shy currently. He's going to have to end the next turn in scoring position. No action for over a minute by Team Wolf and Friends. El Numerino has historically been a very contemplative coach. Now takes the 1 die on Richard Attenborough. Gets a push out of this. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a double header, starting with Tizorc Savage Boys versus Juxtaposed Juggernauts, Tizzle Bizzle versus War Horsemen. That's going to be Orcs versus Chaos Renegades at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. UTC -4. 2-die block by Winona Ryder on the ball carrier. Got a pal here. We'll see where this ball bounces. Ball's going to scatter 1 space forward. The ball's on the opposing 8-yard line now. Not in the best spot for Cenozoic Park. It's a scrum will more than likely form around this ball. With 32 turns left, it's not going to be it's going to be tough to try to score. We'll see if they can pull it out. The second game we're going to have Tuesday night starts at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that will be our 500th game of the league. That is going to be our grudges with Nuffle versus Deadly Biscuits, Eric versus Runbad, Dwarves versus Black Orcs. I look forward to both those games tomorrow. Can't believe we're 500 games in already. Oh no, here on turn 7, Richard Attenborough is going to remain boneheaded. He's going to remain prone on the ground, effectively out for the rest of this drive. Two-die block on Michael J. Fox. Gets a pal here. Looking for 9+. trying to clear the ball. He'll get a block. Yeah, he'll get a block on Ivan the Animal here as well. Gets a knockdown. That's going to clear the ball. And then probably takes the block on Anthony Michael Hall. So that Ty Simpkins might be the runner. Could be Ariana Richards. Trevor Morgan's going to stand up, move down pitch. Here's that 2-die block on Anthony Michael Hall. Got the POW again. That's what he wants. We'll see who he wants to try to get the SPP on. If he's going to continue to foul with Ty Simpkins. I think Ty Simpkins is fine, personally. I think he wants to pick up the SPP on Ariana Richards, but we'll see what he decides to do. Yes, indeed. He's got his Fowler. He wants to get some SPP on Ariana Richards III. It's going to be a 3+ pickup by the number 13 Skink. And that's a good pickup. Good recovery here by Cenozoic Park. They now have the ball on the opposing 16-yard line just inside the left wide zone. And they are back on the bonus clock with under 5 minutes. Knock on Jason Bateman. No armor break. 2-die block on Winona Ryder. Can he get a removal here? 8+ to break armor. He broke armor. Got a removal. Great removal. We'll see if that sticks. 2 great KOs. We'll see if that sticks, but Joe Mazzelow's still going to stay out of the drive. I think he's forgotten about him. Either that or he says, I don't need you. Stay safe, buddy. Turn 8 now for Teen Wolf and Friends. They're currently in the lead, but most of their team's been, I shouldn't say most of their team, a lot of their team is prone, and all of their team is behind the ball currently. Eric Lionheart says a magical pal turn for the Lizards. Indeed it was. It's going to be tough to get at this ball for Team Wolf and Friends. They have no rerolls remaining. And even if they take a blitz with Michael J. Fox, boy, if they don't get it on the first roll, it's going to be an uphill block on the second roll. He's going to take the blitz. So 1-die blitz is a dodge push. So now the uphill block. That's not going to work out. Tried to go for it. Didn't work out. That's a turnover. Cenozoic Park's going to score here in turn 8. 1-1 will be the score. Well done. He has 1 reroll remaining. We'll see if he tries any blocks before scoring, but I think he just wants to score. Yeah, there it is. Very well done by Cenozoic Park. Elder Marino went in on the blitz with the werewolf. It was a 1-die to start with, and he needed the knockdown. Otherwise, he was going into an uphill block. There it was, and that would be a skull. Teen Wolf and Friends to set up their defense to start the second half of the game. Back up to 3 rerolls for each team. And it'll be 11v11 on the pitch once more. Teen Wolf and Friends got back both their KOs. They're thankful for that. Pat Dog says that's the issue with chameleon skinks. They can hide in plain sight. If they don't want to play, you're not going to find them. All right, once again going with this this formation, trying to loosely screen out the Lizard team. We'll see if it works on this drive. This guy's got to plant some grass, man. Get some grass. Have a nice, lush pitch to play on. 4 on the line for Cenozoic Park. Here's the kick. Team Wolf and Friends do not have a kicker, so this ball will deviate up to 6 spaces. It will be a touchback. So on the ball, will probably move the chameleon forward 3 spaces. Yes, indeed. That's exactly what he does. On the pitch invasion, Cenozoic Park's going to win it with the fan factor. It's a D6 plus your fan factor. They win the pitch invasion roll-off, and Ivan the animal will be stunned by the crowd's just like, what are you doing, Ivan? Come on. Ball thrown in the hands of, put in the hands of Ariana Richards after the touchback. Turn 9 underway now. Cenozoic Park with the ball on their own 6-yard line. It's a tie ball game currently, 1-1. An armor break on Anthony Michael Hall will be a stun. 2-die block on the right defensive end. Christian Slater looking for a 9+. Fails the boneheaded roll with the Crocs. The Crocs is going to lose their tackle zones. So there's a little bit of a gap here at mid-pitch. Not an actual gap since the Crocs is eating up the center space. And then each of these Sauruses are covering these lanes here with their tackle zones. Gets a push on the blitz, repositions the blitzer back behind the line of scrimmage. 5 on the line now for Cenozoic Park. Cenozoic Park setting up the pocket for their ball carrier. And now turn 9 for Team Wolf and Friends. They have 3 minutes 17 seconds left on the bonus clock. They're going to need to make that count for 8 turns. Team Wolf and Friends taking the marks on the line. So there's a bit of trade-off here, right, against a lizard team. You take the marks, you're giving this lizard team blocks that you don't want to give them. Spire, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. You give up these blocks to these Sauruses, these 2-die blocks with the block skill, which you don't want to do, but if you have a play in mind, you can move these players in to mark these Sauruses. They're not going to dodge. You basically lock them down unless they blitz. So maybe if you have a breakaway play, you move some players in, you mark those Sauruses, they're not going anywhere. And especially if you can mark them on the opposite side. So let's say you have a breakaway down here. Then if that's the case, you come in, mark the Sauruses this way, and so unless they blitz, and remember you only get 1 blitz a turn, unless they blitz, all they can do is block and follow up in this direction. So if they're moving at all, it's going to be in the opposite direction. But no movement really by Team Wolf and Friends, so they're going in for those marks, which means those linemen are going to get punched next turn. Yep, 2-die block on Matthew Broderick gets a pal here. 8+ with Mighty Blow. Started the turn off with the Crocs block. Wow! Great removal. Regen works yet again. But it's a one-man player advantage now for Cenozoic Park. Is that really a block? That's more like a chomp. It's not so much of a block as it is a gash. Takes the 2-die block on Ali Sheedy. Got through the foul appearance roll. Gets a knockdown. And now a 2-die block on Judd Nelson. We'll get a knockdown here as well. 10 plus breaks armor. Judd Nelson can stand firm and stay in place, or can push back a space. Probably is going to let it rock and get pushed back. Under a minute to go for Cenozoic Park. They're taking the blocks that they've been given, but no real movement yet. They're going to move Joe Maslow, the Chameleon, over to the left. As with Trevor Morgan the second, both the Skinks move in the left wide zone to give the assist. 3 assists on the foul against Ali Sheedy, and gets nothing out of it. Now a 2-die block of Christian Slater. Back at the line will be a push. Christian Slater, the right defensive end. Turn 10 now for Teen Wolf and Friends. So I built a new computer in the last few weeks, and I swear it's like a nuclear reactor. It is markedly hotter in this room. Although I don't know why I decided nuclear reactors are just hot. I guess the core is hot. Under a minute for Teen Wolf and Friends. El Numerino trying to figure out what to do against this defensive line, or I'm sorry, offensive line. Defensive line setting up here. And lots of strength for all of these players. Over, I'm not going to draw that. We're going to cut that off. All of those players on the right are strength 4 or greater. The Crocs is strength 5. Oh, you're going to have to tell me how to pronounce your name. El Marsher? I hope I got that right. Let me know if I did. Welcome to the stream, first of all. El Marsher says, hi, getting bored of playing the AI and BB2, considering getting BB3, is it worth it? El Marsher says, yep, French, sorry. No need to apologize, I'm sorry. But yes, I would wholeheartedly recommend BB3. There are a lot of players to play against. Of course, we have our league that has 3 open competitions a season, so you can come play with us. But otherwise, the ladder is active. You can play on the ladder as well. And it was kind of in rough shape when it was launched, but is in pretty good shape now, in my opinion. It's still I'm going to say missing, but quote unquote missing teams. It still doesn't have all the teams that are available in tabletop. They get released as part of like seasons, so You know, we have a number of them now, but we're missing things like some of the stunty teams, some other teams that don't have like new plastic and stuff. Hank the Ranger says the AI in BB3 is somehow worse than BB2. Yeah, the AI is not great. If you're gonna play single player, the AI is not great. But I will still recommend BB3 simply because it uses the new rule set. So the game has changed significantly between BB2 and BB3, the tabletop game and the video game representation. So I would wholeheartedly recommend BB3 just for that. Cenozoic Park now has the ball in their 6 back at center pitch. They're going to try to hang on this ball until the end of the half. They'll try to win this one 2-1. Yeah, in Blood Bowl 3 currently there are humans, orcs, lizards, necro, dark elves, wood elves, dwarves, Skaven, underworld, chaos renegades, chaos chosen. Let me know if I'm missing anything. I think that's it. Two-die blitz by the werewolf in the left wide zone on Trevor Morgan, trying to hunt down a skink, but gets no armor break. Still has a couple of space of movement left with Jason Bateman. Oh, Nurgle, Pro Elves, and Imperial Nobility, yeah. Thank you, guys. 2+ rush with Jason Bateman. Going to start to apply some pressure on the left side of the pitch now. If he's going to apply pressure to the left, A, it needs to be effective, and B, he needs a way to close down the right side, right? So if you're going to apply pressure this way, it needs to be real undead. Did I miss undead? Yeah, we have undead as well. Thank you, Spire. If you apply pressure this way, it needs to be effective, meaning that your opponent can't just like scoot around it. But then as you apply pressure, you need to give... You're trying to give your opponent no options or options they don't want to take. So pressure in this direction would be ineffective if they could just freely move this way. Now they can't, I wouldn't say they can necessarily move freely this way. As you can see, there's a werewolf here, there's a ghoul runner here, and of course there's a flesh golem. The flesh golem will almost certainly get marked, but then they have the wraith as well. Yeah, I definitely said humans. A rush on the 2-die blitz against Michael J. Fox will get a knockdown here. Can he get the 9+? He cannot. Yeah, so we're missing things like ogre teams, vamps, Norse, chaos dwarves, Snotlings, goblins, halflings. We're missing the new gnome team. There's a new gnome team. I don't like to use the word missing because it sounds like a mistake was made. Like they will be released as part of a season structure. High elves are missing. Yeah, thank you, Eric. Yep. I guess if we count them, Khemri, Khorne. Oh wait, we have Amazons too, don't we? I think we have Amazons as well. Yeah, so this is a little bit of what we were mentioning here. with the pressure applied this way, the ball moved this way. He went for the werewolf to get the knockdown. He marked the flesh golem. There's still the ghoul runner. There's still the white. The white is marked by the crocs. But unless Team Wolf and friends can get in front of this ball and stop this movement, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. And really, the problem here for them is that they're not going to get at the ball this turn unless they open up a lane somehow. It would have to come in this way. Without that lane, I mean, there's two Sauruses right here blocking the way. So they would have to cover, right? They'd have to put like a guy here and a guy here, but also a guy here. And then it doesn't necessarily need to be columns, but they need to make sure none of these can get blitzed through either. And their pieces are just not available to do that. Bad Dog says Corn will be a fun season half the time. I really want to see gnomes just because I've never seen gnomes. You know, they're new. I've never seen them played. I'd love to see gnomes on the pitch. I know they're a stunty team. I know there are other quote unquote real teams that have left to be added, but I would love to see gnomes. Final turn of the third quarter here for Teen Wolf and friends. They're going to take a block on the left. Wide zone. They'll get a POW on BD Wong. This is going to free up Anthony Michael Hall. They get an armor break here. Unfortunately, Anthony Michael Hall is only an MA of 4. This is as far as he can get. He may as well get there. Still has Ivan the Animal to reposition as well. Yeah, I just think they're cool. Like, every team in Blood Bowl, I think, is fun. Like, they all have some cool gimmick. I know, you know, people complain about elves and dwarves, but I think every team is fun. They have something interesting going on. It doesn't mean they're all good, but they're all fun. Black Wolf 82 says, why is there a difference between stunty teams and regular teams? I've heard this a lot. They die. They're very, very brittle. They're often not fast. And they've got some gimmick they rely on that isn't necessarily reliable. Like halflings, you basically I was gonna say the way you play halflings, I don't wanna suppose that I know the way to play a team. But gets a knockdown with a blitz by Ivan the Animal. So he can shut down the left side here, but he needs to get players in the front. He's going to mark the ball carrier after a rush. Yeah, so they die. They're very fragile, right? Stunty teams have AV6, AV7, AV8. They're very weak. They have a strength of 2 usually. Being stunty means that they're even more fragile when they take a hit. They tend not to be too fast. 1 die block spends a reroll on Richard Attenborough, gets a push here. And then so they have to rely on their gimmicks. So halflings get chucked down pitch. you toss the halfling down pitch. Goblins have lots of secret weapons and fouling, right? Bribes are cheap for them. They have a number of secret weapons that are really fun. They have a guy on a pogo stick. They have a bombardier who can throw bombs out of a bag. But yeah, like after the first half, they've lost half their team. Fourth and final quarter begins here. Cenozoic Park with the ball on the opposing 4-yard line. The ball carrier currently marked by Ivan the Animal Deathstroud, playing for Teen Wolf and Friends at number 9. Emilio Estevez is going to be stunned. Pretty good stun here for Cenozoic Park, as it means that Team Wolf and Friends are going to lose even more position on the pitch. Oh, wow, they injure Ivan. Ivan is out of the game. Big gain here for Cenozoic Park on this turn, and now the stand-up blitz on Michael J. Fox will be a push. Black Wolf 82 says, okay, so if I understand they are teams in Blood Bowl, but they are gimmick teams. I thought stunty meant not real teams. So I will say, I think maybe gimmick, I don't know if gimmick's too strong of a word. They have their own thing that they're trying to do, and I think most teams in Blood Bowl have kind of their own thing, but they're stunty is the trait. There's a trait in the game called stunty, and it makes it easier for you to dodge, but also makes it easier for you to get injured. And so when people talk about stunty teams, that's really what they're referring to. They're stunty teams have a bunch of players. Almost all the players on the team have that stunty trait. They're tiny guys, and so they end up being not very fast, not high on AV, and low on strength as well. Big turn here for Cenozoic Park. So Teen Wolf and Friends were not able to reposition players to get in front of the ball, and now the ball is going to hang out on the opposing 16-yard line over in the the right wide zone. Yeah, no problem, no problem. They're just really challenging to play because they're so brittle and so weak. But we had was it a halfling team? I think we had a halfling team make a top 4 once. Failed the rush with Trevor Morgan the second, trying to cover the back, a left corner of the pocket here. Good positioning by Nick Satan and Cenozoic Park. So here's where the ball carrier is. Here's where the team is. Here's where the defense is. Yeah, the skinks are stunty, but you can see there's what it is. So you gotta you ignore a minus, you ignore the -1 penalty when you're when you're dodging, but you get a +1. Boy, I'm confusing myself. It's hold on just a second. All right, sorry about that. Where are we? Team Wolf and Friends. I don't know how they're going to stop this. Oh, right, Stunty. Yeah, so Stunty basically, you ignore the -1 modifier on your dodges, which makes dodging better, but you're more prone to injury because you have to roll on this like modified injury table, which I can't. It's called the Stunty injury table. I can't remember what it is. I think it's just everything's a +1, but it's easier to become injured. Skinks are the gazelles of Stunty players. All right, Teen Wolf and Friends trying desperately to get in front of this ball. Yeah, has to rush with Michael J. Fox to have any hope of stopping the score here in the upcoming turn 14. One die block on Richard Attenborough is going to spend a reroll to get a push. Is this worth it? Who's he freeing up with this? Oh, Winona Ryder. That's who. That's who. There you go. Thanks, Bad Dog. Yeah, freed up Winona Ryder here to try to get in on the left side of the pitch. Oh boy, turn 14 for Cenozoic Park now. Cenozoic Park's going to reposition Richard Attenborough. Good positioning of the Crocs, tying up these three players. None of these are consequential except for Molly Ringwraith. Molly Ringwraith with an MA of 6. And now the Blitz. 2-die Blitz on Winona Ryder. Gets a push out of this. Might try to re-roll this if he's looking for the knockdown. Yeah. He's looking for the knockdown. He got it here. Gets the knockdown. Will follow up to get an assist on Jason Bateman. So one more assist will make that a 2-die block against Jason Bateman. There's the score. Good push. Gets the score. Cenozoic Park takes the lead. 2-1 in this ball game. They're going to give a little bit of time to Teen Wolf and Friends to try to get on the board and try to tie this ball game up. Black Wolf 82 says, okay, so sorry to take away from the game, but another question I have, would it be a good idea to take Thick Skull on a skink? I wouldn't, no. Generally speaking, and again, I'm not an authority on the game. I'm just a big fan of the game. But generally speaking, I take, what Spire said. Like, I take skills that I really want to use rather than skills that sort of, like, I want to take skills that play into what my player's supposed to do. Rather than kind of negating something, you know what I mean? So like for example here, this skink, sneaky get, dirty player, that's a great combo, right? But if I were to take a skill like I said in the pregame, like I think Trevor Morgan here is a waste of money, personally, because this diving catch is doing nothing. I don't even think you need 2 sneaky gets, but because that's a waste of money, because you're not really getting any use out of that skill, that's money that you're giving to your opponent in the inducement phase. Remember, you subtract the higher team's team value from the lower team's team value, and that difference goes to your opponent as petty cash that they can then spend on bribes, in various inducements, star players, wizards, things like that. Yeah, and there are just better skills to kind of, like for a skink in particular, right? If you want Thick Skull so that they stay on the pitch longer, I would argue you get better value out of block, right? Block will keep you, like, instead of sort of getting Thick Skull to worry about the injury table, get block and then you get knocked down less, right? You get knocked down less. You're not only safer when you're getting blocked, but you now have a player that can throw blocks. Skinks come with the skinks. Here, I'll show you. The skinks come with dodge as well. So you pick up block, you have a blodger, and now the skink only gets knocked down on a POW. Wow, that was terrifying. Rolls a D2 on the solid defense. 3 turns for Teen Wolf and Friends, but wow, without a kicker, you got it all the way in the corner? We'll see if it actually stays on the pitch here. Oh yeah, not a problem, Black Wolf. Yeah, like there's certainly an economic aspect to Blood Bowl. It doesn't seem that way, but you really want to be maximizing the value of your team. So you're looking for skills that you're going to use. You're going to use a lot that are going to bring a lot of value. And conversely, you're looking to fire players that aren't providing a lot of value to your team. Turn 14 now. 14, Wolf and Friends. That's going to be a touchback. So look at this ball in the hands of someone freely, and it's going to be Michael J. Fox, one of the fastest players on the pitch this evening. The Skinks are in MA8. The Wolves are MA8. Teen Wolf and Friends with one reroll remaining in this game. They'll have 3 turns to try to tie the game. Only 44 seconds left on the bonus clock. Winona Ryder is going to take a mark on the left side of the pitch, marking BD Wong. $50 seconds left on the clock for Teen Wolf and Friends. Took the mark on BD Wong. Are they going to try to blitz BD Wong with Jason Bateman? They are indeed. Here's the blitz on BD Wong. They get a push. Look at a frenzy follow-up into an uphill block. And that is going to be a knockdown unless he spends this final reroll. Oh, boy, he's going to get a push, and he's going to stay alive. BD Wong holding down the left side of the line. And now Teen Wolf and Friends back on the bonus clock. Just 43 seconds left on the clock for these final 3 turns. No re-rolls remaining. 2 rushes to take a mark on Ariana Richards. The right corner. We call that a corner? Let's call it a corner. Right safety. Why not? There's 4 safeties. It's going to advance this ball. Oh! Rushes down the left wide zone. Fails the rush, and the ball will bounce to the opposing 6-yard line. A skink will gladly grab that ball. Tried to rush down pitch. Failed the rush with no rerolls remaining. Never rush, that's right. Never rush. Unless you want some great Canadian prog rock, then always rush. Not a foul, a stun on Christian Slater. He's going to get a pal on Emilio Estevez. Taking blocks at this point. Got 2 marks on the ball with Ty Simpkins and Joe Mazzolo. Cenozoic Park could conceivably get another TD out of this. Finally fails the foul appearance roll on Molly Ringwald. Sorry, on Ali Sheedy. Another stun on Matthew Broderick. Boy, both Wolves down. 2 stunned linemen. He could conceivably get there. Let's see. Without any rushes, What now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's gonna have to shoot somebody down the lane here at center pitch. So it looks like he's holding SPP for no. It's gonna be Trevor Morgan that he's gonna try to score with. So Trevor Morgan is gonna shoot down that lane, and now here's the ball pickup. 3+ pickup, fails the pickup. He'll spend a reroll. Good pickup by Ariana Richards III. We'll see if she can hold on to it. If she can hold on to it, she'll try to hand off to Trevor Morgan. Barring that, she'll try a pass. Turn 15 for Teen Wolf and Friends. They need to end this turn in scoring position if they want to draw this game. Molly Ringwraith is down pitch, but cannot be a ball carrier. She has no hands. He's going to try to stop the score instead. Blitz on Trevor Morgan. Double skulls is not going to do it. Turn 16 for Cenozoic Park. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can do it without a rush. Try to hand off to Trevor Morgan. No rerolls remaining, though. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why the pass? Went for a pass instead rather than the handoff. It's very sunny. That brings the pass up to a 5+. Failed the pass. Cenozoic Park's not going to be able to score. Teen Wolf and Friends on turn 16. They have nobody who can score. And so that'll be the game. 2-1 will be the final here. Cenozoic Park will win this one. Two rushes to take a mark on Joe Mazzulo. Looks like he's going to be trying to foul Joe Mazzulo. Stand up blitz by Ty Simpkins, or against Ty Simpkins. Breaks armor. Gets a KO. Cenozoic Park will happily take that. Just looking for SPP at this point. 3+ dodge. Good pickup by Winona Ryder. Try to pass the ball, perhaps? To whom? I'm not sure. But could get an extra point of SPP on Winona Ryder. Oh, didn't try to pass. That made that dodge kind of risky. But that'll be it. 2-1 will be the final. Cenozoic Park's going to win this one. Congratulations to Nick Satan on their victory. And now Cenozoic Park remains in first place in Division C and, more importantly, has currently the best record in the Dungeonbowl. Congratulations once again to Nick Satan and Cenozoic Park. Nick Satan, the current Spike Magazine Trophy champion. Plenty of more Blood Bowl this week. Let's take a look at the schedule before we leave. Coming up next, we have a doubleheader tomorrow night, starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC -4. Tizoc Savage Boys versus Juxtaposed Juggernauts. Tizzle Bizzle versus War Horsemen. That's Orcs versus Chaos Renegades. And then immediately after that, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, is our 500th game of the league. It will be our Grudges with Nuffle versus Deadly Biscuits, Eric versus Runbad, Imperial Nobility versus Black Orcs. Then after that, we have another doubleheader on Thursday, starting at 8 o'clock p.m. EDT. The Bonebreakers versus Kind Peacocks. Galeshi versus A Kind Sir. That's Blackworks versus... Oh, wait, did I say our grudges with Novels Imperial Nobility? Because our grudges with Novels with dwarves. Kind Peacocks is Imperial Nobility. At 9:30 on Thursday, we have Nevagana versus Real American Heroes. Chime versus Dead Fred. That's Orcs versus Dark Elves. Lots of games left to play. You did, A Kind Sir, you did trick me. All the games of Week 4 have been scheduled, but after Week 4, Week 5 will begin. And then coaches will begin scheduling their Week 5 games. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club. Here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game is so much fun. I love Blood Bowl. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store until tomorrow night, August 27 at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Monday evening.